As we welcome back assistant basketball coach from BYU Women's Hoops, Dan Nielson. Dan, welcome back to Studio B.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, dude. We've been waiting a long time for this bowl from Spain that you got over the summer.
Which was awesome.
Juddy was
you were
supposed
nice
to bring.
enough to get that.
You brought it all the way back from Spain. It came across the pond.
Without getting broken.
And Juddy was supposed to deliver it, and it's not here.
It's lost right now in the abyss of Judd's trucks. We're gonna have to send out a search party here, probably when the season's over. We don't
collective effort.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get everybody and go through with a fine-tooth comb. We're gonna find it though.
I'm oddly interested in combing through Judd's truck.
What's in there?
Like, is there like a Celtics jersey on the floor? Is there
there's
like a Utah
some crazy
championship ring?
mix of basketball and horse equipment. That's really probably what it is.
People that don't know, he has how many horses?
I think he has 6 and a couple mules.
Wow, he has that many?
Legit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A couple mules.
Hey,
wow.
You guys should do a segment out there riding with him up at Dimpledale. He loves taking those guys out.
We're going to discuss this next time.
This needs to happen
on the show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Right,
jamming with Juddy on a horse. I'm on a horse.
That's a hashtag if you ever heard one right there.
Yes. By the way, how is his stress level after a little bit of a difficult stretch of the season?
It's stressful for all of us because we knew the importance of the last 2 weeks. But the one thing where we're all proud, and it's not just coach speak, is our girls fought, and it stinks how it went out. We blow an 8-point lead at St. Mary's with 3 minutes to go and lose in overtime. We go to Pacific, and there was definitely a little bit of a hangover, quick turnaround, getting out there, and it was probably, honestly, our worst defensive performance. We still only lose by 4 to a good Pacific team.
Yeah.
And then this last week, we're up by 10 when Morgan goes out with her back and ankle, and we – San Diego's great, not to discredit them, but we felt like we had pretty good control of the game.
When you lose Morgan Bailey, there's no way around it. That's a huge blow.
Well, and the thing, obviously, scoring is going to hurt, but where we were most affected, honestly, was defensively with Ederain, number 12. She had her career high, and then rebounding. It was some ridiculous 20-plus offensive rebounds where normally Morgan's gobbling those up. And so that really hurt us, And the girls fought, though. We had it down to 4 with a few minutes to go and just couldn't get over the hump. So, but Judd's been really positive with the reality of things. We're not trying to sugarcoat it, but also we feel like we can still compete with anybody. And, when you look at it, it's crazy how the season goes when you lose a few in a row. Right now, we have almost the same record as the men, and everybody's super high. The men are rolling to beat St. Mary's, which is great, and we're kind of down because we've lost these 3 in a row. But the positive thing is we can change it Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, especially Saturday.
Oh, yeah. There's no question.
Huge opportunity against Gonzaga, the first-place team in the West Coast Conference. What's the vibe of the players right now at practice and in the locker room?
Right now, things are good. It was, honestly, we were a little nervous, leaving Saturday, and we had a good talk after the game and said, hey, come back Monday ready to go, or if you're not going to be ready, then maybe stay home for another day or 2. And we had a great practice yesterday, which was good to see. And one positive out of that game was some younger players had to play. Alohi, Robbins Hardy stepped in and played great, which will help us in the tournament, having some kids, I think, that have a little confidence going in. So right now, as crazy as it sounds, losing 3 in a row, I think we feel good. We feel good about this week and really positive, honestly, about anybody we would play going down to Vegas. So we're just ready to get back on the floor, get going.
Let's talk to you about the NIT NCAA dynamic, right? The NIT is nice. You want to do your best if you're in that. But the goal is to get to the NCAA tournament, right?
No question. There's no question at all. If you can go to that NCAA tournament, you go. And
even if you're a 14,
it doesn't absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Even if you're a 16 seed, you go in and you play it because you never know what can happen. Obviously, in the men it has, and the women it has. Harvard beat Stanford, so 16 seed has beat a 1.
That's happened before.
That has happened on the women's side.
Wow.
But you go. You never know. We knew last year we were good, but nobody else thought we were really probably going to go do what we did.
We're to the Sweet
and
16.
We go to the Sweet 16, and that's something we'll always remember. If we went last year and went to the Final Four of the NIT, not many people are going to remember
Remind the people what seed you were last year, Dan.
We were 12 seed.
You were a 12 seed.
Go beat the 5 and the 4. And I'm still convinced if we played anybody but UConn, we might have gone a little farther.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, you had a second-half lead on UConn, one of 2 teams to do that all of last year.
Does that hurt? Thinking about the UConn game? Or
still,
are you cool
absolutely. Because everybody, there's no moral victories. Was I proud? Yeah, I was really proud of our girls. But if we hung on for a couple more minutes and withstood that run, we're going to beat UConn. How awesome is that? Yeah, that's why you go to. That's what the tournament's about.
That's why you want the tournament.
The ball is tipped. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I'm in the NCAA crowd. So for your team right now, are you guys in a situation where you probably have to win the tournament in Vegas to go, or you think you have an at-large chance?
You know, it's hard with the women and the men because you hear there's so much overanalyzation on the men's side. And then the women, it's great. It's great. I mean, it's what I listen to all day. My wife gets tired of it. You know, this morning before I came to work, I had Dan Patrick on. I'm working on some film. She's like, turn it off. But, you know, there's all this overanalyzation of it. When you look at it, the men right now, depending on who you look at, have 3 to 4 top 100 wins, a couple top 50 wins, and then 3 outside the top 100. We're the exact same, except no losses outside the top 100. The difference is our league, we have 5 teams in the top 75 of the RPI. And so you look at our losses and you'd think we'd have a chance, but it's funny. I feel like the men's get so overanalyzed, these teams kind of get talked about and then get in the conversation. The women still are.
It's the Power 5.
Yeah, you get those power groups and it's hard to get your name back in the conversation.
Even if you went to the Sweet 16 last year?
That'll help. But I think right now, to be honest, is we just got to take care of it. We need to win these 2. And then, you know, depending on what happens, I think we need to make the championship to even really get back in the discussion. That's not to be negative; it's just the truth.
Sure.
You know, but the positive thing is, like I said, we feel confident playing anybody. That's not to downplay how good these other teams are, but we like our team, and we're confident with what we can do.
Both games on BYUtv this week, by the way. Thursday night, 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain against Portland, and then a huge showdown on Saturday afternoon against Gonzaga, the perennial power in the West Coast Conference. A team that, from the conversations I've had with the players, from Lexi and Morgan and Mackenzie, you feel like you can beat this team. Why do you feel like you can beat any team in the West Coast Conference?
Well, I think it starts with the fact that I think we have the 2 best players in the league overall. I mean, Lexi and Morgan they're special players. You only get to coach players like that every now and again, you know. And that's why last year was special. You had Jen in that mix and Kim, and that team was special. But with those 2, you know you're going to be able to score and do some things. The thing that we like is Mackenzie's really been stepping up her game again. Defensively, I wish you guys could have seen our San Diego game. She was best defensive performance against Melina Hood that anybody put in all year on her. Kylie's shooting the ball better. You know, like I said, Alohi's stepping it up. And we feel like we have the pieces where we can mix and match up with them and kind of anybody. And then we feel like those X factors are Lexi and Morgan where we can really go at people and get things done. So.
What's the injury update with Morgan Bailey?
So right now, you know, Jeff Hurst is earning his money this week, our athletic trainer. I know he came in Sunday and worked with her, and yesterday worked with her most of the day. So her ankle, you know, just progressing, doing some rehab on that. And her back, you know, just trying to get it loosened back up, kind of tightened up on her. She's had some spasms with it, and it got really tight. It was just bad timing, honestly, with the game and warm-ups. I could tell it was giving her trouble and just progressively got worse. But honestly, she looked a lot better walking around even at practice than the airport. Leaving on Saturday, she looked like she was like a 90-year-old grandma hunched over. I felt so bad for her. But,
oh, man.
You know, she's working at it. I don't think, you know, she's going to feel 100%, but Morgan at 90% is still pretty dang good. So.
Okay, so if you had to put like a % chance on Morgan playing both games this week, what would you say?
Oh, man. I should turn that over to Jeff Hurst. I mean, honestly, Thursday's probably a little more up in the air. You know, I wouldn't say 50. I'd probably say 60-40, 70-30.
Okay.
Saturday, depending on what happens Thursday, I think is for sure.
Are you in a position?
It's senior day, man.
Yeah.
Are you in a position where you'd try and rest her to get up for the big? They're all big, but beating Gonzaga would be bigger.
Right, and that it's hard because it's like you can look at it both ways. If you lose to Portland, who, no offense to them, their RPI is so low it would absolutely kill us to lose that game. Whereas Gonzaga's in the top 30, we'd probably still move up.
Huge win.
Right, and it'd be a huge win. So there's pros and cons to both with it. But Morgan, the way Morgan talked yesterday is she's planning on it, and obviously if not, we have a couple different lineups we'll look at and be ready for to mix it up on people. But I'm confident whether we have Morgan or not, with what some of those young players did on Saturday, I'm confident that we can still get things done this week.
Yeah, with what Morgan and Lexi are doing, they are kind of showing the nation that, hey, maybe we can play at the next level, whether that's in Europe or at the WNBA level. And Jennifer Hampson made her status official yesterday with the Los Angeles Sparks. What was your reaction to Jen signing with the LA Sparks?
Oh, I'm just so excited for her. You know, she's going to have to do some work to get back going with basketball, but she put in so much work last year, and I think really started to realize herself how good she could be. You know, she came in at the end of the year for our end of the year interviews and was like, I didn't realize I was that good. And we're like, holy cow, you're really good. But, you know, that's the thing that's exciting for her in the Sparks is she's this untapped potential where she's only scratched the surface. I mean, I think she could be a phenomenal WNBA player, and if she chose to go play in Europe, and obviously she could do the same with volleyball. I mean, that's why I think she's as good an athlete as BYU athletics has ever had. I mean, with her success in both sports, she's unbelievable. And the best thing about her, she's just as good a person. She's so much fun to be around. She's the nicest person you could ever talk to.
Dual sport All-American. If she had to improve on one little thing, if you could make her improve one facet of her game, what would it be? Basketball-wise,
I think just getting used to the physicality again and then improving on that. And that's where Morgan really helped her last year. Is they're kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. Morgan's a bull in there. And
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you like that. But getting used to that, the WNBA, all those posts are going to be like that. And so just getting that physicality back, and getting used to contact where, volleyball, you can just hit things at people and then not have to touch them. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Dan, great to have you with us. Excellent insight. We wish you the best of luck against Portland and Gonzaga.
Appreciate it.
Launch the search party for the bowl, man.
We're going to call in a forensic team. We're going to find this thing. It's going to happen.
Criminal Minds or something.
Yep.
Dan, thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.